Good morning, friends. It is November the 11th, 2021 at 10:30 in the morning. And I'm going to talk to you about some stuff that is extremely personal in mine and my wife's life. Today, extremely nervous about talking about this, but I absolutely know that God is leading us in a direction to talk more about a subject that is absolutely horrific, scary, and something that is allowed to distract a couple from experiencing what God wants from a couple, to be able to show His love, His mercy, and how He guides each of us individually and as couples within a marriage. And this subject is going to be uncomfortable for me, and I would bet that probably 95% of the people that get to this part of this video is going to turn it off because of the uncomfortableness, if that's a word, of the content of this video. So this past Friday, actually, I'm sorry, it was this past Thursday, the 4th, that I got extremely uncomfortable with something that God has that I know and my wife knows that is extremely hard to talk about amongst ourselves, but then to go publicly and talk about these struggles within a marriage is just unheard of, okay? Unless you're going to a counselor or a pastor or some friend that you feel like that you can confide in, or a family member, or whatever it is. But nevertheless, they're still kept secret or secretive and not allowed to be told to the world and to other couples that desperately need reassurance that they're not alone. So I'm going to say this. My wife and I have discussed this topic of what I am going to be talking about extensively. Okay, and I'm going to try to keep it as ungraphic as possible, but I feel like being graphic and exposing the shame and everything that it involved in it emotionally is necessary to help not only my wife and I to come together as one, but for you, our friends, that you can become one with God through Jesus. So here we go. My past history before I met my wife has been from a sexual standpoint not outside the realm of what most individuals would see as being wrong. Okay. I had several partners as far as a sexual encounter goes, and you know, I was at an age of around 15 or so, was exposed to pornography to the point that I looked at it a lot, okay, for many years. But that's not the content of this video, okay? Alright, but because of what I did in my past, that affected my marriage and has affected my marriage with my wife. Not so much the pornography, but the different partners that I had. Okay? So my wife has also had many partners as well. And because of her struggle and my struggles, and before we met, that made us have struggles inside our bedroom. Okay? So this particular subject that I'm going to talk about is going to get graphic somewhat, or maybe a lot. I'm not real sure yet, because I'm allowing God to guide me in what my thoughts are right now as I'm making this video. But I feel like that this is necessary to expose Satan and what he does to keep a godly couple that God purposely put together for whatever reason, and we are kept from being able to do the purpose that God has for us as a couple. Okay, so my wife's struggle, and in her last video she talked about overcoming this particular struggle, and I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about this, okay? Because there's a reason that I'm going to go into this to get to what happened on November the 4th, okay? So my wife in our bedroom has struggled with a desire that I've had for me and her to do in our bedroom, okay? And that desire is, and I believe Song of Solomon backs up this desire, because of how many times that through the poetic words of Solomon that is used is talking about the fruit of a man, the sweetness. I mean, my wife came up with a list of about 10 things there in that one book that talks about a man and a woman's desire for each other. And I know that it's going to go against what a lot of people believe, think, and even want to hear. But yes, and I'm extremely nervous about talking about this and making this public, but I feel like this is what God is saying to do, to help heal some broken hearts and let down some walls within inside a godly marriage that you may be experiencing yourself, okay, or may come upon when you get married to that godly person that God has put you with. Okay, so this subject is about, for the lack of better words and how to describe it, doing pleasing your partner sexually with your mouth, okay? In taking in the intoxicating aroma that each other puts off when you put your nose to that area. Okay? Alright? That turns off a lot of people. And they have been taught that is ungodly, that's unbiblical, and it's pure D wrong. Okay? But I will say this, if you read the book of Song of Solomon, you probably are going to have a different outlook on this particular subject. Okay? If you read it and look at the metaphors that is laid out thousands of years ago now, and we have to know that the whole Bible is inspired by God. Okay? If we lose that concept, then you won't get what the Song of Solomon is talking about. Sorry for the wind. Wow. The wind is blowing today, but just as I say those words, it just blows extremely hard to the point you may not be even able to hear some of the words that I'm saying at this point. But I'm trying to speak a little louder because of that wind that's constantly blowing right now. Okay? So, this particular subject that I am talking about, my wife has struggled where I have not. Okay? I have wanted to smell her, to do things to her that is just to satisfy her sexually, okay? And I've wanted her to do the same thing to me, okay? And I've wanted to do, for the lack of better terms, the 69 position. It is 12:38 in the afternoon, and unbeknown to me, the video that this is attached to ended 18 minutes into a 40-minute video that I thought I was making. And I'm going to talk about the struggle, but the last 20 minutes of what I had tried to talk about, to me, God didn't want me to say that. And I sit here a little while later and God is continuing to say, do this video, do this video, do this video. So here is the rest of it. And what God has revealed to me during the time that I thought the video ended just after 11 o'clock, and now about 12:40. And it's about to start pouring down rain, so I'm going to try my best to do this as efficiently as possible. So, my desire, as the last video ended, was to have to do a 69 position with my wife. But because of her past, she struggled desperately to not do that. Okay? And over the course of the last few weeks, she has absolutely 100% gotten rid of every bit of that fear. Okay? I want to make sure that that is clear right here. And if you watched her last video, she talked about that fear being removed. Okay? Now, here comes the point of this video. There's going to be 2 points that I'm going to make in this video. One, my struggle with receiving that gift of having my wife do something so astonishing to me in our bedroom. And I'm just going to put it out there. Giving me, for the lack of a better term, a blowjob and me coming in her mouth. Okay? I know that this is a subject that most people will absolutely turn the video off at this point because of what I just said. Okay? But if you do, you miss the whole point of this video. Okay? Which is 2 points. Alright? The first point is, after that fear was removed out of her mind and out of her body, she released that fear to Jesus. Then the fear came to me, to the point that on Thursday, November the 4th, I was paralyzed. I was paralyzed to do anything in the bedroom with my wife. Okay? This is very important for a couple to understand. It's not just about one person's fear and one person's struggle. Okay? To be intimate with each other. And here comes the rain. Here is the struggle that I had. I couldn't receive the gift that she desired now to give to me, which was a blowjob and coming in her mouth. I know that is going to be hard for everyone to hear on a video made by a man of God. Okay? It's unheard of, and it's disgusting to some people, but it is a God-given gift for a married couple that is of God, put together by God. If you've watched our 108 story, you can't deny that God put us together. With all of our faults from our past that has been talked about in this video and before, He still did it. He made Hosea marry a prostitute, and her leaving him many times to go back and pay money to buy her back out of slavery because of her continuing to go back. Jesus also in John chapter 4 said, if you to the prostitute that had been married 5 times and was with her 6th man, said, if you want the water that I have, you won't be thirsty again. If you drink of this water. He saved that woman right there. Okay? Another example is the Pharisees brought a prostitute that was caught in the middle of adultery. Okay? That was ready to stone her and was trying to test Jesus, okay, and say, cast the stone first, okay, or tell us why we shouldn't do this, okay. He said, if you are without sin, cast the first stone. I know that people are going to stone this video, okay. I get it. It is fire from God, and He wants this heard, okay. All right. My wife got over her struggle. I then was attacked by Satan in my struggle to receive her giving me a blowjob and coming in her mouth. Okay? We tried unsuccessfully several times before the fourth, and it wouldn't happen. My struggle overtook me. Okay? But you have to understand that God is knitting us together, and the rain is coming right now, and I'm trying to hurry up. He's knitting us together to be able to break down the barriers, the walls, and this video is about the breaking down of the walls, okay? God has shown me the number 217 multiple times today, and I believe yesterday, and I'm going to read one verse to you that backs up what I am talking about right now, and then I'm going to try to end this video. Okay? I didn't mark this page, so I've got to find it. Okay. Nehemiah chapter 2. And here comes the rain big time. Verse 17. 2:17, guys. Ready? Here it is. Alright. Let me find it. Alright. But now I said to them, you know very well what trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire. Let us rebuild the walls of Jerusalem and end this disgrace. Okay, I'm going to put my Bible under my shirt so that it doesn't get wet. Okay, here we go. What does that verse mean, guys? That God just told me. Okay? Alright. In this particular situation that I am dealing with, and that my wife has been dealing with, Satan has destroyed our marriage in our bedroom with our pasts. Her past and mine alike, okay? I've told you what mine was. I've told you what hers was. And Satan has tried to destroy our bedroom so much that we both struggled in a certain area of our bedroom, okay? Alright. But what does that verse also say? Okay? This video right now is going to free some of you. Some of you, it's not going to free. Okay? Some of you, it's going to lock up even tighter because you're not going to believe what God is doing right now. But the ones that get free will never be in disgrace again. The walls in your bedroom with your wife, with your husband, not with a partner, inside your godly marriage, you will not be disgraced. Okay? Get that, guys. God wants us to not be disgraced in our bedroom with our wife, with our husband. And I love the fact, right now, as I am talking to you, that rain is falling on my head. And you may be able to see it in between the camera and I. Okay? God is right now, the timing of this. I just read a verse about rain falling just this morning. I can't remember where it is. Rain falling from heaven, and it be a sign that God is with you. Okay? Guys, I know your struggles. I know you have struggles in your bedroom as a married couple. And this video that I'm making right now is a new way of this 108 story that God has put together. Okay? Way before we knew how he was going to do this. God is making us move into a different direction of a type of ministry of couples and their struggles inside their marriage. Not just in the bedroom, but communication-wise and financial-wise and just a plethora of different things. Okay? This 108 series is going to take a new development. I believe that Michelle and I have heard from God in the way that is going to get extremely intimate within thoughts of a couple, or as a husband, or as my wife. That Michelle will make videos, or we'll make some together. I'll make one on my own like I am right now. Okay? Don't let this subject matter. There's a reason that God wanted me to do this video and talk about this very sensitive subject. Okay? I challenge you, as a godly person, go read Songs of Solomon or Songs of Songs. Okay? It is about the intimate details of a husband and a wife and their relationship, which is a human form of how we are supposed to be with God. Okay? And how intimate we are supposed to be with God. Okay? Please get this. Don't let anyone tell you that God doesn't work in what seems to be crazy ways, and guiding you and giving you information. I'm just a guy that does what God says to do when he says do it. My wife is the same way, and we do this as a couple. Okay? I want you to not be disgraced inside your marriage. Don't feel the struggles. It's hard to get through those. But God, if you allow God to work on you and your spouse, God will take care of it all. He will. And you'll rebuild the broken walls that were created before you got married, whether it was a sexual partner or a financial trouble or whatever the case is. It's not just about sex, okay? This is about God creating a story in your own marriage that is unbelievable, that you can tell anybody and everybody, okay? Don't be disgraced. Allow God to rebuild the broken walls of Jerusalem, which is your marriage, that Satan has tried to destroy by fire, okay? And that is such a unique analogy that just came to me. God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah by fire. Satan tries to destroy our marriage by fire and act just like God. But he can't. He's always a counterfeit. Guys, don't be disgraced. Go read Nehemiah chapter 2, verse 17 again. Don't allow your marriage to be a disgrace for any reason. Guys, have a good rest of your day and allow the rain to fall on your head from heaven. See you guys on the next video.